Hello everybody, welcome back to Royalty Soaps. I am sorry immediately for the lighting. I'm in my room, it's nighttime, we do not have light, we are normal people with normal homes, and I do not have a proper studio to be in. But regardless, today I will be making the Jungle Waterfall soap, which I designed for Katie's birthday month. Now I've realized that I do not explain while making this soap how on earth it has anything to do with Katie's birthday. I based this off of the Swiss Family Robinson because there is a scene whenever the family is going out and swimming in like this pondy, jungly area, and they go down this slide of water. And Katie and I loved that scene, and we always wanted to slide on that slide, which could never exist in real life. It would be far too rocky and definitely would hurt. But regardless, I wanted to make a soap that kind of looked like a waterfall, and I wanted to make it so that there was some like little fish on top of the soap that could be enjoying the waterfall that Katie and I have always wanted to do. Also, I should mention that Caleb and I were planning on doing a proper collaboration for this video, but things kind of fell through because he's a busy father and he could not stay for all of the filming, so you can enjoy him making most of the soap with me. Also worth mentioning before we get into it, I'm sorry I keep saying also, as you see in the title, this soap did not work. So we fixed it, and you'll see the finished product and you'll see the not so finished product. You know, things don't always work out, but there's more on that later. You'll see what I mean. So without further ado, let's get soapy. Alright, so because in our last collaboration Caleb did the base, I am going to now do the base myself. So to get started, we have a lye water solution here, and we have our oil blend. So using this stick blender, we're going to mix them together. And that is how you make soap. Also pouring down the stick blender, keep it from splashing. This stuff is toxic, don't you know? Caleb, you want a drink? It's too crazy. Yeah! That's better. Blending on high. Now that it has reached a light trace, then it's ready for us to pour it off into another container and put those colors in. After we scrapey our blender head.
Whippity, wipity.
Amen. Clabnab. Whippity whoopity. So we have one of our classic white pours, and I'm just gonna pour straight into it, measuring it on this scale, of course. Fill her up, please. That looks about right. Hey, Caleb.
Hey, yes.
Don't mock me.
You mock me, you die!
Get it out. Better.
Thanks.
You're so welcome.
So, for our first color, we're going to have this very aqua blue, and this is a mix of blue Tide mica and baby blue. Pouring it right out of our corn cup. Have you heard that these are made out of corn? I'll tell you what, single-use plastic is out, corn is in.
So can you eat those?
Yes, you can eat them. In fact, you can eat single-use plastic as well. It's not recommended. So now we'll mix in this blue color. Now for our green color. So now for this green color, I have mixed in neon green and new leaf green in a proprietary blend. Oh, it's just like 3-to-1 ratio, whatever. And we're gonna just pour this into here. This is gonna give off a vine or an algae look, or at least that's what I hope it does.
He just dumped it in.
I'm going to say it because people always say, hey, you didn't mix in the fragrance. Did you see those comments, Caleb? Yeah, they didn't mix in the fragrance with the gnome.
I promise.
Caleb did personally.
I pinky promise.
Your pinky was out of frame. Try that again.
I pinky promise. I did. I freaking did it.
Do you have PS3 chargers for the remote?
No. So we have a fragrance oil here that is Rainforest by WSP or Wholesale Supplies Plus. I will throw up right now Be quiet, Caleb. I'm gonna throw up the fragrance oil description right now for you all to see, but I'm gonna give it a sniff. Yes, very watery, and it has very clean notes to it. We have not looked at the fragrance oil description, so compare and contrast with our unprofessional opinions.
Yeah, so there's watery notes in there. It's a little sweeter than I would expect, but there's also a little bit of greenery. So yeah, we got the watery notes and some greenery. Haha.
Perfect. Anywho, we already have this measured off to the right amount. While we mix in this fragrance oil, I'll ask you, Caleb, if you could have one celebrity's hair in 5 seconds, what would it be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Jim Carrey from Dumb and Dumber.
Bingo! So now that our fragrances are mixed in, it's time for us to pour the blue straight into the green for a nice swirl. So satisfying. Caleb, on a scale from 1 to satisfied, how scrapey are you right now?
I am whippity wipity.
That's a 0. Caleb's trying to push our catchphrases instead of Katie's, and I don't like this hostility.
We gotta rebrand, baby.
I don't like this hostility. I think that we can exist together.
Mutiny!
No, mutiny. I'll be the Katie in this relationship.
And I'll be me.
And I'll be the Caleb. This looks great. Let's grab our brambleberry molds. Now I'm gonna start pouring into our brambleberry molds. Being careful not to tarnish the sides. These things are new. Ha ha ha, I'm liking how this is looking. All right, now that we've poured in a little bit, it's time to put in those boulders. And Caleb's going to help me, of course. We're gonna have to try to fit these big fat boulders in here like Tetris blocks, really. They have very hard edges, so I hope that they really give off a kind of natural but cut look. You know how boulders do. They're natural, but the water has kind of cut away at them over time, so there are kind of sharp edges on it, right? Tetris is fun, isn't it, Caleb?
Yeah, you always beat the crap out of everyone you play with.
Be quiet, let's not talk about me. All right, this part is looking a little more mixed in. I kind of like that murky look on top. We've got to scrapey out all this goop. Making a mess with my brother Caleb.
Making a mess with me.
It's the messy boys. Man, big bubble. All right, let's stick some of these boulders in the top. This is gonna really blend it all together because the piping is gonna be great too. Don't mind me, I'm just here for the soap. Caleb, how are you feeling about this soap right now? I think it's looking pretty good. Hang it on the ground. Hang it on the ground.
Yeah, hang on the ground. That's better. All right.
So glad we got to do this while everybody was away.
Huh? Yeah, Katie's not here. Yeah, Caleb's right. Katie's not here, so she cannot help us right now. This is actually looking pretty good. Yeah. I'm actually starting to become proud of this.
Hey, it's come full circle.
Full circle.
We liked it, then we didn't like it. Hey, we like it again.
All right, our tops are getting done. Now it's time to mix up the piping. Hey, Caleb.
Hey!
Whoa. Hey, who made this mess? Was that you?
That was Katie.
Katie? Where? When? When did Katie make that mess?
Earlier, today, before we started, before we were even in here.
Are you placing the blame on your own wife?
Why not?
Why are there books? Why are there books and why is Shrek the Third in this filming studio? Who put that there?
I did. I think most of those are from when I was about 14, and I stand by it.
Anyway, let's get started on the rest of this soap. Otherwise, we're gonna be here all night. All right, so we have Caleb set up with the piping and he's just been practicing these first few. We weren't sure if he was ready for the big time, but I'm thinking they're looking pretty good. So I'm just gonna clean up some areas for Caleb. You won't be able to see this in the middle, so I apologize. The pretty is not gonna be in the middle for now, but these bars are gonna look a little bit better with those holes missing. So those now look perfect. Great. Switching it over for round 2. This is really turning into a coaching stretching exercise.
Yeah.
That's alright.
What a lively bit of commentary we've got.
I'll do the middles, don't worry about it. Alright, now you can just practice the dollops in the middle.
How's that?
That's looking good. That's what I was trying to get you to do before.
Great.
Like I said, it's been a little while for Caleb.
Yeah.
But this is some good practice. These are boulders. They're gonna be inconsistent, just like real boulders. Alright, we'll pass off the torch. Alright, Caleb, so what do you want to talk about?
So I'm terrible at video games.
Oh, come on, not all of them.
Yeah, not as bad as you'd expect for some of them, but we've bonded a lot over little video games and, you know, really getting into it.
So gaming was a good way for Caleb and I to spend time together early on because we didn't really know anything about each other and we didn't really know what each other liked. We formed the perfect mutual hobby. And as Caleb said, I like difficult things that are not so fun for somebody that has not really played very hardcore games before.
So out of the two games we've played the most, Wizard of Legend for the Nintendo Switch.
Whenever you die, you go back to almost the same state as whenever you started the game. A little bit discouraging to have to go back to square one every time. So you play 3 levels, then a boss. Caleb and I didn't beat a single boss.
Not one.
In like 10 hours, not a boss. So, we got fish.
Look at these bags of fish.
Let's crack some of these fish out. It's official Royalty Soaps fish. Wow, these are colorful. These do look vaguely like Swedish fish. Though, you can't really tell in the video, but they do have a little bit of a shimmer. Look at these fish. They're so vibrant and fun. It's definitely a magical forest, because I don't think fish look like this in real life, but this makes a great cartoon fish or something. These were, of course, made by the Empress of Embeds, Shelley, my sister, Caleb's sister-in-law. Anywho, every single soap is gonna have 2 whole fish. Can you believe it? And it wouldn't be a Royalty Soaps video if we didn't make it a little extra complicated. So we have 2 whole other colors. So there's going to be 3 different colors, 2 fish per soap. Who knows? Endless combinations, really.
The numbers are truly impossible.
Impossible to calculate. We're just trying to figure out how to put these dang things on. I hadn't thought about it very good. So we're just gonna make it so that these little fish are swimming upward.
They're like salmon swimming to their old birthing grounds.
That guy's kind of swimming in the air.
He's jumping up the waterfall. Let me get a red one in here. Show a little variety for our friends.
So Caleb and I just dying over and over on that same game, never getting to a boss. So I thought, maybe this game's just hard. I'll tell you what, I went over to my buddy's house the first time we played the game. We beat 2 bosses in a row. I'm sorry, Caleb. You're just bad at it. But it's all fun anyway. Video games can be a really good way to bond because they're kind of timeless, kind of ageless. People of all ages can enjoy a game of some sort. And it was a great way for Caleb and I to kind of just hang out and listen to some music together and kind of share our tastes. And then, you know, have fun the whole time.
Yeah, and get really upset together.
Yeah, get really upset.
Just bonding over dying at bosses.
In fact, now that I think about it, a lot of what we've done is play video games together. Play video games, listen to podcasts.
We've gone to concerts together.
Oh, that's true. We do go to a lot of concerts together.
I would say that takes up collectively more of our hours together. Well, besides the average work week.
Concerts are so much fun, and Caleb and I really like getting active.
Yeah.
Getting involved! Get involved! How many times have I heard that? Get involved! Get out there! I'm not seeing enough movement. Caleb, you recently did your first crowd surfing, didn't you?
I totally did, and I didn't have my wallet buttoned down, so I lost it as soon as I got over the crowd control gate, and the security gentleman was nice enough to hand it back to me, but good grief, that was scary there for a minute.
Losing one's wallet is like losing one's child in the grocery store. But that is to say bad for all you people with no children. Don't worry, I'm in the same club.
Speaking as someone who has several 3-year-old children. Yes, one-to-one comparison. Yes, indeed.
Okay, whoa. Let me pause you there. So this is what I was talking about at the beginning. The top of this soap did not work, okay? I thought that the rocks up top would look like boulders and that you'd think, oh, there's water running through them, but it ended up being so hilariously bland that I cut it and I looked at it and I was like, no. You know, sometimes whenever you look at a piece of art or at something that you've made and you just go, no. But no worries. As with all things in life, it does not always work out the first time. You just have to keep moving forward and you have to keep trying. So, thankfully it only took one more try because Katie helped me redesign the top. So now it is a top that matches it perfectly, in my opinion. But admittedly, I am a little bit stressed for time. A perfect example of that is me filming at night in my room. So we wanted to get this video out. I did not have time to film myself remaking this soap. So you saw me compound the bottom, which was kept, but I don't have footage of me making the new top. So, we can jump right into the cutting of the new soap, and I'll overview it and I'll show you all that I did to fix the bland design that I had before. Without further ado, let's get back into it. Alright, so here you can see the new soap design. So, I decided to go with a blue looking color here, and I also put on a in the bag drizzle that was an even darker blue, just to give it some more texture. And then I sprinkled on a healthy dose of glitter. Then I put my little fishies in. This time I decided to put them on the dollops themselves. I didn't end up liking them being in those little rivers as much as I had thought. And then I put on top a very generous portion of clear melt and pour that has just a bit of blue in it, which gives it a very watery sheen to it. I am really pleased with this redesign. It was definitely a good call. Well, let's quit all this gabbing. Let's cut this thing open. All right, here we are. I am so excited to cut or recut this soap for the second time. I'm feeling really good about this redesign. I can't wait to see if it has really good chemistry with this bottom. Well, let's find out. Let's not beat around the bush any longer. I'm gonna turn it on its side so that I don't knock off its poor little tops. There we go. Now it's laying down nice and comfy. Now I just have to line it up so these little fishies don't get chopped. We wouldn't want one of our little finned friends to get hurt, now would we? Now we're just going to push gently down on our bar cutter that we have nicknamed Evangeline. And that twang means that we've cut all the way through. Let's see what we've got here, shall we? Oh, that's much better. Oh, I like that top a lot better. It really blends so much better with this bottom. It isn't like a sore spot on top any longer. And just like the other one, it has really cool embeds in there. Ooh, yes. Every one is truly unique. My goodness. If there's one design that we have that every bar is different, it's gonna be this one. Well, hey, here you go. So here's just more living proof for you that failure is not always the worst thing ever. Sometimes it'll just push you on to make something better. Here's a couple of examples of our fishy friends swimming up that jungle waterfall. So our poor dear Caleb is getting some well-deserved rest from those long nights of watching the baby and helping out his lovely wife. So I'm here to give you the question of the day, fulfilling his role. Would you rather never sit in another chair, or would you rather never sleep in another bed? You will only be able to sit on the ground wherever you are. You will never again sit in any type of chair or on any buckets or anything like that. No cheating. Or a bed. And I do mean any bed. And no, you cannot sleep on the couch. You truly have to sleep on the floor forever. So what's it gonna be? Sleeping on the ground forever, or never sitting your bottom in another lovely chair and you get no couch much either way. You can click the I in the upper right-hand corner if you dare to give your answer. Okay, that is so much better. I am so glad that I went with my instinct and I changed the soap, because now it looks perfect. I wanted it to be rocks, but then it ended up being water, and it has turned into a magical soap. If you would like to pick up one of said magical soaps, if I do say so myself, they will be available on the Royalty Soaps shop on July 1st at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I have to memorize this, I don't know. Anywho, but if you can't remember that date, a wonderful way to keep up with all of our releases and all of our videos would be to go follow the Royalty Soaps page on Instagram. And if you would like to connect with Katie and I and see what we're doing in our private lives, if you want to see beautiful pictures of Katie and you want to see goofy pictures of me, you could go over to Instagram. We both have a personal account. Anywho, I hope that y'all had a lot of fun today. I really enjoyed making this soap, and I also enjoyed remaking the soap. But if you enjoyed the video as well, I would please ask you to press the like button. If you want to see more videos that are like this on this channel, you could hit the subscribe button. We would very much appreciate it. And as always, I want to ask you to please go do something fun for yourself to make yourself happy. Maybe a couple of options would be, maybe you could go outside with sunscreen and get yourself a little bit of sun. Soak in some of those nutritional rays into your skin. Or you could take some time to do some self-pampering. You know, clip your nails, brush your hair, maybe put on a mask, maybe take a nice bath, or a shower if you don't have a bathtub like some of us. But whatever you choose to do, I thank you so much for being with me. I hope that you have a lovely day, and I will see you on my next soapy video. Meow.